As you all know, Cursor 1.0 was just released, and I wanted to walk you through some of my most favorite features that are included in this release. I don't think I'm going to go through all of them, but I will mention some of the ones that I think are important to know about. And also we'll kind of go through this changelog just in case I miss anything that I didn't demo. If you guys follow my channel, you know I've been using Cursor for quite a while. I used to use VS Code, and then I tried Copilot, and then I switched over to Cursor when I saw real productivity gains using the various agent and chat panels that you can kind of use. I do have Cursor 1.0 installed, and the first feature I want to talk about is this background agent. So if you actually go up here, there is a cloud icon. If you click this, it loads up a panel where you can actually prompt Cursor to run things in the background. Like it can actually do background tasks, and you can actually kick off multiple of these concurrently and have it refactor your code along the way. This is by far my most favorite feature in the 1.0 release. Let's just go ahead and demo some of this stuff. Now, I do have a TanStack start application running on localhost 3000. I'm going to try to use some of these background agent things to have it modify different pages all at the same time. Now, to get some of these new beta features working, you do have to turn off privacy mode, which means that the prompts in your code may be sent over to Cursor and they may be training models using your code. So if that's something that's concerning to you, then maybe don't use these features just yet. But I think it helps them improve along the way with these features. So the first thing we're going to try to do is we have a home page here. I want to go ahead and just fill out this home page and make it look really nice. And then also we have a users page, which we could try to fill out and make look nice as well. So if you do a Command E, that'll load up this background task. I'm going to say on the home page, and I'm going to go ahead and tag it because I like actually giving a little bit of context for where these things are. Let's just go to the index here, which is this. Please add a nice hero section and a testimonial section, okay? Now, in terms of models, it looks like you are forced to use like these max models, which are going to cost a lot more money. I think I tried to run 2 background tasks with Cursor last night, and my bill is already up to like 50 cents. Right here, 59 cents. It doesn't seem like it even uses these included requests with that. So keep that in mind before you just start blindly playing around with it. So going back to the app, we're going to go ahead and kick this one off. And then we're also going to write another one. So I'm going to say, please make the users page look nicer. And I'll say /users. I think I can go to the users index right here. I'll say using cards or something. And again, we'll kick off this background task as well. And now I have 2 background tasks running. And if you actually click into these, the cool thing about this is you can see it's actually spinning up a VM. So I'm guessing over on the Cursor side of things, they have VMs that are spinning up, and then they're cloning your repo. So you do have to grant Cursor access to your repo so it can actually pull the code. And then it basically starts making changes. If I go over to this other background task that I'm kind of playing around with, you can see that we have our Cursor agent over here on the left, kind of giving us updates of the way it's thinking. And then eventually it'll change the code and then put the code changes over here on the right. Let me hide my head for a second. So on the left, you can see the normal agent thinking. So it's kind of telling you what it's doing, what files it plans to change. And over on the right, eventually you should see the changes that it made. We can kind of go through those, and you can go back and forth between these. I don't know why this thing's not clickable. It's like you have to hover over a very specific part. They kind of need to fix that. So let's just let this cook and we'll come back when it's done. All right, so it's making some changes to the home page. It's doing some various stuff. Now I do want to go ahead and switch this to the right. And on the left, you'll see that we have some options now. So we can actually create a pull request off of these changes to our repository. We can also check them out locally if you want to, or you can import them into your local chat. So while this is modifying my code, let's just kind of talk about why you might want to do this. So a lot of times when I'm using Cursor and I'm making changes to a particular feature that I'm working on or fixing a bug, I'll be going through the UI and I'll notice something else and I'm like, man, I should just fix that, right? So often when you're going through code, you see code that you want to clean up or you see little things you want to tweak. Having this background agent could be very useful for just spinning off a really easy fix or change that you don't want to have to context switch the fix right now. You can defer it and have an agent kind of do it for you. So I really think this will be good for smaller tweaks or changes that you don't want to have to completely switch your attention span to fix yourself, and you can just let a background agent kind of do. Now, one thing I am curious about is it says the development server is now running and your homepage should look amazing. I'm curious if there's a way to actually go and preview this. So what I've been doing is when it's done, I actually just say import to local chat. That'll bring in all the changes that it made, and then I can test that out locally. So notice here we have all of our changes. We have all the chat history over here, and then I can go back and my home page has been updated. Now remember, we have a background task running right now for the users page. I haven't brought in those changes locally, so if you want to kind of merge those in, I haven't tried that out. So after you review this code and everything seems like it's pretty good, what you could potentially do is go back and you could create a pull request if you're working on like a larger project with the team, or you can actually check out the branch. I do believe all this stuff is being created in a different branch. Let's try to create the pull request. I'm going to click this button and it should hopefully create a pull request in GitHub, and it opens up the tab. It explains all the things that have been changed already, and you can see all those changes are basically already included. So like we could just go ahead and create that pull request. All right, we can also do the same thing for the other background task. So we'll go here, I'm going to create another pull request, and we can kind of read through that code inside the pull request. All right, it does some stuff. I'm not going to read through that. So that's the overview of the background agent. I think this is very great, and I'll probably be using it a lot if they can find a way to kind of like not have it cost so much, because those 2 background tasks, I'm now up to $1.28. So I just spent 50 cents basically doing those 2 things. And if I just did it the normal way, this would have been like free, right? It would be part of my plan. So this leads me to the next thing I want to demo with Cursor, and that is the Bugbot. So there is a new feature called Bugbot. If I go ahead and just go to the Cursor settings, so I'll go back over here. Now I haven't turned this on yet, so I got to figure out how to actually go to this. Go to Cursor settings, navigate to integrations, connect GitHub. After setup, return to integrations and return Bugbot on the specified repo. So let's see if I can find where this thing is. So I'm going to go to Cursor, and then I think they said go to integrations, and then over here we have Bugbot. Spend limit, I'm going to say $10, whatever, I'm cheap. So scrolling down, I'm going to turn it on for the Docker Chat app. And I wonder if there's anything else I need to do here. I think that might be it. You can also like personalize it so you can have it run manually or like automatically. So now that I turn this on, I can go back to my pull request and I can say Bugbot run. If you just leave a comment, and by the way, I think this can automatically run for you depending on those settings that you have. I'm going to try closing the pull request and reopening it. I'm wondering if maybe I created the pull request before I did the whole Bugbot thing. So I'm going to leave another comment here and just see if this can kind of like start working. So after some time, it'll review your changes, and then it'll tell you if it found any potential bugs or not. So right now it says everything is good. I could probably go through and like add a fake bug and see how it works, but honestly, I don't want to do that. Checking out my other pull request, it looks like this also ran. So it looks like there's an SVG path malform missing an A command. So it tells you the file. You can actually click it if you want to fix it in Cursor. I'm guessing it opens your VS Code editor to that file and tries to fix it. So that's also a very cool feature. I'm guessing on larger teams, this will be very beneficial just to have an extra set of eyes review the code that you're writing, just to make sure you're not screwing anything up. So again, those are probably my 2 favorite features. We got Bugbot, and then we also have the background agent, which I hope I gave a pretty good overview of them. Agent in Jupyter Notebooks, I don't really care about this. I don't use Python on my side projects. I don't use Jupyter Notebooks, but I guess that's there if you are a Python person. So another feature is called memory. So if you actually go to the rules setting and then go to generate memories, I'll click yes. So I'm going to try to test out this memory thing. I've never used this before. I'm going to say in the future, please never write inline CSS in my React components. If I click enter on agent mode, let's see if it actually says like add it to memory at all. Can you add this to memories? Okay, so this one says memory updated. If you click on it, you can actually view your memories. And then down here, I'll click show. And basically it's just like a giant collection of all the things that it's trying to learn about. And again, this says memories are stored per project on an individual level. So your memories are kind of custom to the way that you want the code written. It's not really across the whole project, which if you wanted a project-based thing, I'd probably just use Cursor rules. So pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, and but I'll keep it on just to see how it kind of works, and maybe I'll make a video in a couple of weeks if I feel that it's pretty good. So for the rest of the features, I haven't really played around with them. I was going to talk about them. So I guess they made it easier to add in various MCP tools. So if you don't know what MCP is, basically it's a way to have your AI agents interact with tools automatically on your behalf. So like you can connect to GitHub and you can have Cursor create a GitHub repo, or you can connect to Notion and have it create or update an existing Notion thing. I think they have a pre-existing list of tools they may support. Yeah, Notion, Figma, GitHub, Linear, Playwright. I will say MCP is still kind of in its infancy, but I do see the potential of this being very useful in the future of having these autonomous agents basically do everything for you with all your various tools on your behalf. Well, I guess just check that out if you're interested in that. Okay, so richer chat responses. I guess they're basically saying chat can now give you visualizations, which is pretty nice. You can actually see it generate graphs for you that you can actually like view. Before you had to like have it generate a mermaid graph syntax, and then I have to go and copy that somewhere else. Now it does it directly in the project, which is great. And then we have a new settings in a dashboard page. It looks like you can go and get an overview of various things on your account, which would be nice. And then you have all these settings that I kind of talked about. All right, so that is about it for the 1.0 release. A lot of cool changes, a lot of cool stuff that we can play around with, and I'll probably make a video in maybe a month or so after I've played around with all these and just give you another perspective on how I felt they worked over time. What I've seen with these AI tools is it takes me some time to get a feel for it, to see how I can use it to make myself more productive and how I can improve my workflows. So this video is more of just giving you an overview of what has changed, and then hopefully I can give you some better context in the future. So, all right, thanks for watching. Have a good day and happy coding.